What's going on, everybody? This is the Game Hunter channel with another episode of Clash Royale, and in this episode I'm gonna share one of my decks. It's called Princess Push. Okay, one of the reasons that my trophies are always up and down is because I'm always trying new strategy. That is my mission. That's why I make videos in Spanish and in English, because I like to share all my experience with you guys. So then you don't need to try it, or you already know how some cards are gonna work, and maybe you can try something different, right? So in this episode, I'm gonna show you my Princess Push deck. The deck is really good in Elixir. It's only 3.4, so it's quite cheap, quite cheap. You need to be careful with probably decks with arrows or rockets and stuff like that. But in general, you know what? I've been going through a bunch of battles with a really good results. Okay, so let's analyze the cards. I'm gonna go with Fireball. I'm going with a Knight. I'm going with a Hawk Rider. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hawk Rider! Oh, that didn't come out right. That didn't come out right? Let's try it again. Hawk Rider! Or something like that. Okay, Britney Spears, Tesla Tower, the Princess, the Wizard, and also Little Goblins, right? Yeah, Little Goblins are quite useful. Only 2 Elixir. That's a card that you can deploy at any second in the game and provide some support to the Hawk Rider. For example, a combo that I like to use a lot is the Hawk Rider and then have the Goblins right after the Hawk Rider. They can do some really nasty damage against enemy towers and, well, basically enemy towers. So the idea of this deck is to have the Tesla Tower in position, put the Princess in the area, try to use the Hawk Rider as a decoy, and then the rest of the troops are just to support the Princess. This Princess can take care of the towers from distance. So let's go to a couple attacks and let's see how this Princess Push deck works. You guys ready? Let's roll. Let's go to the Royal Arena, and we're gonna start with a Tesla, Hawk Rider, Fireball, Britney Spears, my opponent Tesla, the Prince, Britney Spears, and Goblins too. Okay, this is gonna be one of those battles. Alright, let's get this party rolling. And the idea, like I mentioned before, is to have the Tesla in certain location that can provide some support to the Princess. Okay, well, we got double Tesla. That's never funny, but anyway, you have to know how to deal with these buildings. Here comes the first barrel. I got my Britney Spears in position. Probably I should deploy Britney Spears a little bit farther away from the tower because they receive the damage, the splash damage of the barrel. So that's, you think, that is one of the ideas of me analyzing this replay, so I can show you also when I make mistakes. You don't need to make it. Oh boy, the Dark Prince is coming. And we have the Princess right now. We got the Knight in front. Britney Spears giving some support. My opponent is kind of upset right now because I'm using the Princess, the Knight, Britney Spears, and we're pushing forward. Now we're going to start doing some damage against the tower in the top right corner. And as you can see, the Princess is completely out of range. The problem with the Princess, of course, is the hit points. Are the hit points, because you can kill the Princess extremely fast. For example, right now I'm gonna deploy the Princess and probably she's gonna go down in a few seconds because of the Dark Prince. Or if somebody decides to deploy some barbarians in front of me, well, that will do it for me. But this is the advantage of the Princess. It's really cheap. Okay, 3 elixirs is really cheap, so I can keep deploying her and do some damage to the towers, and then keep deploying them. That's the whole strategy. And in the meantime, put a Tesla Tower in the entrance to annoy my opponent. Alright, time to wait a little bit. Here comes the Prince. I'm gonna probably deploy the Tesla Tower, and this is another little mistake that I need to see the Tesla Tower. Well, it wasn't a mistake because he was charging with the Prince and throwing the Goblin Barrel at the same time. But you gotta be ultra careful. How do you deploy the Tesla Tower? Otherwise, Prince can destroy in 2 seconds. The Hawk Rider has some issues with the Tesla Tower, so that's why it's becoming so popular right now. But my Princess, look at her, taking care of business. Princess Push to the maximum. You see, I got some really cheap cards that can support the Princess, and at the same time I got the Fireball also to give me the extra push. Here comes my opponent with a Goblin Barrel, Prince, and a couple Goblins, but I got my Princess also. My Princess is so good in defense against groups of Goblins. Super powerful against Goblins and Skeletons. Here comes the Dark Prince one more time. Last push, only 11 seconds to go. The Princess is doing a really good job. Let's put a Tesla Tower in the middle to deflect some of the attack. I got the wizard in position, and this game is over. That was a really good match, just controlling the time. This is a control deck, and it's really annoying because of the range of the princess. Alright, let's go to another battle. Okay, battle number 2. We're gonna start with the knight, with the hog rider, with princess, and also the wizard. My opponent, archers, Britney Spears, a golem, and elixir collector. Let's see how this is gonna work out for us. One of the things that we have to learn little by little is that when somebody plays the elixir collector at the beginning, you know what they're trying to do. They're probably gonna try to come out with a big combination, big combo, either, I don't know, Pekas or maybe Golem. There's many ways to try this, but usually that's how it works. So sometimes you just need to pay attention when somebody starts using the elixir collector. Well, you learn from your first mistake, but after that, you just to keep your eyes open, because if you keep deploying elixir collector, that's the moment that you have to attack. Because remember, the elixir collector is gonna cost 5 elixirs. So in the meantime, you should have enough troops to start pushing, especially with this deck, because this deck is super cheap. 3.4 elixir, you can't beat that. There you go. Let's do some damage. Okay, he's collecting some resources on elixir. Don't mind. I'm gonna start using my fireball and do some damage. Hopefully I'm gonna start using the fireball between the tower and the elixir collector. Let's start pushing forward little by little with the hog rider, couple goblins, and of course I got my princess in position. Let's see. Oh, the princess is gonna go down because the prince is too powerful against unit. Extremely powerful. Now, my opponent is gonna be able to have that golem on the battlefield, but let's see if we can use the princess also in defense. That's why I like to show this deck in different areas of the game, in defense and in offense. That way we can actually analyze and see if it works. Of course, there is always a counter deck, but the idea is to share as many decks as possible, and then probably somebody's gonna find this one really interesting and maybe fit your game style, right? Tesla Tower in the middle. Let's see if we can call the little golem. Make sure that the golem is getting attacked by all my towers. That's the whole idea of putting the Tesla Tower in the middle, so you can get engaged by both of the towers that I have in each corner. Now we're gonna go in defensive mode. Group of goblin, no problema. We should deploy a knight in front of it, and now we can actually start pushing a little bit with the hog rider. That is really annoying. That is really annoying. And the princess, of course, start pushing from distance. Look at her. Look at her, super annoying, splash damage. I know it's not doing enough damage to destroy that tower, but at least it's keeping my opponent guessing. What should I do? What kind of troops should I use? What should I deploy? Should I just go for the princess? Should I start attacking the other tower? It's really annoying. Look at that. One more time, the princess is in the middle, providing some support to those goblins, doing some damage to that Tesla Tower, and also look at the range. That's why the princess is so useful, because of the range. And battle complete. Victory sour. One more time. Complete control of the match. Complete control of the match. That's why this deck is called a control deck. Because you take control of the battlefield and you annoy your opponent until they cannot deal with it. Let's go for another battle. Alright, let's continue with this princess push. Knight, Britney Spears, Tesla, and wizard. My opponent, barbarians. Ooh, okay, barbarians are a pain for the princess. Are a pain because the barbarians can be deployed really close to the breach, so they can take care of her in 2 seconds. Barbarian, Britney Spears, Tesla Tower, and arrows. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Britney Spears are coming from the left side. We're gonna be more defensive, just a little bit at the beginning. Let's deploy some Britney Spears, Tesla Tower right in the middle, discovering both of the breaches, and now let's deploy the princess right there to do some damage to that Tesla Tower. I don't know why you decide to go that way, lady, but let's put the knight in front, because I was expecting, I always expecting that they're gonna try to counter my princess as soon as possible. So that's why I have my knight. My knight is so reliable. It only costs 3 elixirs, so you cannot go wrong with that card. That card is still one of my favorite cards in the game, and it's one of the cards that you can get super early in the game. Super early in the game. Hog Rider is coming with double Tesla. Well, okay, 1 Tesla, a couple of Britney Spears providing some support. Those archers are gonna go down. That Tesla Tower in the middle is gonna annoy so much the Hog Rider, because the Hog Rider is gonna go to the middle and it's gonna get engaged by both of the towers that I have in each corner. Alright, let's be patient for a second. We're actually gonna speed up things just a little bit. There you go. We're going to defensive mode for a few. And until I decide to deploy my princess with a knight one more time, the group of barbarians, see how fast they can take care of the princess. But the idea is that my opponent is using elixir and troops that they cannot really do much damage to me. That's a good thing, you see. I mean, they attacking, they killing the princess, of course, but at the same time the princess is so cheap that I can deploy the princess one more time. The barbarian costs 5 elixir, the princess only 3. See, my opponent is getting a little bit annoying because the princess is doing her job, pushing until there's not tomorrow, and the first tower is down. If the first tower is down, let's keep moving forward with the knight. The princess is still there, doing some damage. I don't know why you decide to get close to that Tesla tower, but okay, that's beyond my knowledge. You can see a group of barbarian. Fireball in position, doing some nasty damage. Those barbarians are completely useless at this point. Let's see if we can do something. Britney Spear to provide some support. Princess on defense too. See? Princess on defense. One-on-one. And things are getting a little bit nasty. One more time, we're going to start using the princess push. Get the princess in the middle, use some Tesla towers and then low-level units to provide the extra support. What about double princess? That's not a bad idea. And let's use the knight in front, because that's the key of this deck. It's so cheap that you can come out with the knight, Britney Spears, and the princess so often that your opponent really is going to be in trouble. Let's go to sudden death, and things are going to get kind of ugly. I got 2 Tesla towers on defense. My opponent is coming with Barbarian, Hog Rider. Things are not looking good. Fireball. I was holding the Fireball for that purpose, to stop the Barbarians and the Hog Rider combo. In the meantime, we're going to start attacking from the left side with the Princess, Tesla Tower, and the Hog Rider, and the combo is up. I missed with the Fireball, the Hog Rider, and that was actually really lucky. Okay, the Hog Rider decided to go for the Tesla Tower. My opponent was probably expecting that the Hog Rider is going to get damaged by that Fireball. Now we're doing a really good job between the Princess and the Fireball, and that will do it. One more time. Another victory for us using the Princess push. This is the TheGameHuntah. Fellas, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have a specific combination of cards that you want me to try, just post in the commentary section and I'm gonna give it a try. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.